Hello, everybody, and welcome to the second episode of Season 2 of Beacon 147. Today is November 6th, 2013. Let's get this thing started.
Heck yeah.
Alright, guys, welcome once again to Season 2. We took a little bit of a hiatus, and for those of you that are religious followers of our stream, you noticed that our premiere episode was yesterday, and that was featuring an interview with Ben Lesnick and Sandy Gardner. They were both in their LA/Anaheim office, and we got about a half hour of opportunity to talk with them. And at the end of this episode, we're going to play that again for you guys so you can see it if you didn't get a chance to see it. Or, as always, you can find us on the YouTube or at beacon147.net. That's a new URL for Season 2. So check out beacon147.net. You can also subscribe to us on iTunes. We have a HD video feed, an SD video feed, and our audio podcast as well. And if you're subscribing to us on iTunes, leave us a review. Why not let us know what's going on and what we can do to make the show a little bit better. And as always, like, comment, and subscribe on the YouTube feed. So, Gradius, what's going on in your world?
Oh, dreaming of buying ships.
Dreaming of buying ships?
Yep,
So
dreaming. Not buying ships, just dreaming of buying ships.
So, what did you get in the... What do you have now? I know that you purchased one more.
I did. I did something I shouldn't have because I told myself I wasn't going to do it, but I did it. I now have a Freelancer, which is pretty badass, and a Legionnaire. The Aurora
Nice.
Legionnaire model, yeah.
So, you went a much different route than I went. I went the route of getting pretty much anything and everything. And you mentioned in the interview that the reason you're kind of going the way you're going, not only for the cost savings benefit, but it gives you kind of something to work for, somewhere to go.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the way I kind of see it is, my primary goal or, what I kind of dream of being in Star Citizen is an industrialist or a trader or something like that, And, if I started off with, like, the biggest, baddest, like Starfarer or whatever, then I don't really have... It's like, okay, so I've got the biggest cargo ship in the game. All I'm going to be doing now is just playing the game to move stuff around to make money.
Right.
It's not like there's a bigger thing that I can get, so I don't know. I mean, if I had the money, I would be extremely tempted to buy the Starfarer, if I just said screw the budget,
Yeah.
and decided to go that route. But, the Freelancer's the next best thing. And I'm good with that.
Yeah. I mean, the Freelancer is going to be a good, just kind of an all-around, ship, for cargo faring. But it also, you look at it in the hangar, it's got some beast guns on that thing. It definitely, doesn't look like it's going to be something that's going to be easily pushed around.
I didn't notice until, you said that when I was, looking at it the first time. That thing's got some freaking missiles on it, man. That thing doesn't look like it's going to be tough to kill.
Not tough to kill?
No, it looks like it is going to be tough to kill, yeah.
Yeah. I went a different route. I've bought pretty much one of every ship in every variant that's been available, and I'm going to continue to go that route as long as the purse strings will allow it. But mainly because, working, I don't have the opportunities that, some people have that are lucky enough to work from home.
Yeah.
Or, that don't have, school or something like that where they have a little bit more free time. So this is going to enable me to hop right in and do anything that I want to do without having to invest that initial time chunk. And I think that is really what I'm after, is being able to save that to save that time and hop right in doing what I want to do.
Right.
I guess now is as good a time as any to talk about kind of our Season 2 break that we took. And we're gonna this it's gonna be kind of something that we're gonna continue from time to time. Now, we unfortunately, season one kind of ended at a rough point for us because it was right before the Hangar module was released, and scheduling, it was the end of summer, so I had business trips that I needed to go on to get back in the swing of things. And I know that we promised we were going to do everything we could to try to get some Hangar stuff up, and it just unfortunately didn't happen, the way that we had intended it to work out. But we're gonna kind of continue with that, with what we said we were gonna do. We're gonna show you the guys the Hangar module. In a few minutes, I'll hop into mine and show you every ship that I have, which is, I think, every ship that can be in the Hangar module I have. So if I'm missing one, I apologize in advance, but I think I have, one of every ship and every variant that can be in the Hangar module, and we'll do just kind of a quick tour on those. We'll stick with our 2-week schedule. We're going to do shows bi-weekly, so every other Wednesday we'll do our show. We're going to try to start, around 8 o'clock Central Time, maybe a little bit later, maybe a little bit earlier, and go from there.
Yep.
So let's go ahead, I guess, and start with the Hangar module, if that sounds like a good idea to you.
Sure.
All right, so now in my Hangar module, I just pulled it up, I pre-logged in. I do have everything that I think you could possibly have, so that includes the posters. So kind of take a little tour around. Now, the performance is not super great because I am streaming and playing on the same box at the same time, but of course, I've got my little buggy here. Since you have the Freelancer in yours, let's go ahead and start there.
Heck yeah. That is a bad to the bone little ship.
So this is, your kind of your general cargo carrier, a little bit stronger than the average cargo carrier.
Look at those missiles, man. Look at those things. What?
This is just, this is intense. I mean, this is just a tribute to the engine, and not only to the engine, but the artists, at just the level of graphical fidelity and time that they've put into these ships.
Well, speaking of the graphical fidelity and all that, there's actually someone in chat right now asking, the specs of your machine. Like, what the heck are they to be able to play this game so good and it looks so good,
Right now, I'm running a high-end machine. I have an Intel Core i7-4770K. I don't have it overclocked. I'm running at base frequencies on it. And I have 2 GTX 770s in my machine as well. Since I am streaming, I did cut the graphic quality down to medium, and I am playing.
It's funny as medium still looks freaking amazing.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm not going to do a full detailed walkthrough on these ships, just a kind of a quick, run around so you can see them. This does have an extended cargo bay that you can go into the back and lower the lower door. Well, of course, I'm in the deluxe hangar because of the ships that I have in my pledge package. But here it's Gamescom trophy, the infamous lamp, and the Zeus. Here is the 350R. This was the limited edition racing variant of the 300 series. Unique paint job, dual engines in the back. This baby is going to haul some serious butt, I think, for lack of a better term. Some more posters. Here is the Aurora, the average, ship that most people will have, depending upon their package. The Auroras are very well detailed, and I think that was done on design, since this is the ship that most people do have. Let me press the F key and get in here.
I just noticed something.
What's that?
The Aurora opens from both sides?
Yes, it does.
That's pretty cool. I'd never noticed that before.
So, and something that's... Am I the only one who feels like the Aurora, and maybe this is by design, and maybe I'm just being a noob, but this ship just feels so very much of my childhood playing Privateer. Like, this feels like the ship I was in when I was playing Privateer. Maybe it's just me.
No, I have to go with you on that one. That first ship that you started off in Privateer, I mean, it was like you were flying a Winnebago.
Yeah.
And it was kind of limited. You couldn't really do a whole lot with it, but if you loaded that sucker up with some pretty decent upgrades, it was a pretty powerful little ship.
Yeah, she definitely, and we'll go through the variants. I mean, this one, while she may be small, she's definitely does not lack on the might. She definitely has it. And one of the really cool things about the Aurora is it does have this sleep pod, so you can get y'all a nappy time on. while you're going on extended missions. So
Yep. Now, the Legionnaire version of this,
yes,
that's the one that I picked up. Holy crap, man.
yep,
You know, if you walk outside of the Aurora real quick and turn around and look at it, this is the base model, right? So the Legionnaire has the guns on the bottom. It's got guns on the top. You know, it's got the rocket launchers. It's got the bigger power core and everything on it. I mean, the Legionnaire looks like it's going to be pretty tough in a dogfight.
yeah, it definitely has that look. I'm going to kind of skip some of the other ships and kind of cover those toward the end, but here is the Drake Cutlass model. Still not fully rendered in game yet, so we just kind of have to live with the model.
Oh no, that's totally it. It's just it's a remote control ship. You don't.
Yeah, it's an RC ship.
Yeah, exactly.
You can definitely tell though by looking at it. It's going to be nice. It's going to be very. It's going to be nice. I guess that's all I can really say.
Here's the thing about this ship though, because that is right there, the pirate ship.
It is.
I like this guy in chat. What is it? A ship for ants? But that, this is the pirate ship. That's the one that comes with the docking collar, so you get down in there, you start cutting a hole in your enemy ship or going through their doors or whatever to get in. I mean, that's going to be the ship that when you see it, it's like, okay, whoa, what's this guy doing? Is he a friend or is he a foe? You know what? Screw it. I'm just going to get out of here.
Yep.
That's what that guy is.
Here I'm showing the 325A, just kind of showing you the exterior. I'll hop into the 300 series so you can take a look at the interior. I'm not going to hop into the inside of all of these, but just one of each so you get an idea of kind of what they look like for those of you who haven't pledged or seen all the different ships. What's really cool, and I know some people are probably bothered by this, but I actually kind of enjoy it, is you kind of have to squat down in your ships. If you go into first-person mode, it sacrifices comfort for speed, and I love that. I mean, I love how this ship is designed. You've got your leather seats, you've got your all the features you need to kick ass in space, but it's nice to know that comfort, while important, was not the primary goal of these ships, and it's just unique. Now they have the ships that have the more headroom, but I like having this look on my it looks very dogfighter plane style, and I love that.
Yep.
So let's take another look around the bend here. We've got our Avenger here. The Avenger is a great bounty type ship. You've got your 2 seats there, so you can store your your hostage, if you will.
Your hostage, nice.
Your bounty target.
So you could totally just put him in the seat behind you where he can't, he totally can't just reach forward and strangle you or anything.
Yeah. I love the winged look on this, the shape of it. I mean, the 300 to me is aesthetically the most beautiful ship, but this is definitely a close second. It really has a clean line look to it. I enjoyed it. It almost reminds me of the, a space plane.
I look at that thing and I keep wanting to say modern. Of course, they're all freaking modern, right? But like it just, to me, it's like it has that contoured modern look. I don't know. I don't know. I love it though.
Here is the stock Hornet. This is the standard. If you've pledged for a Hornet, this is what you're getting. Now, of course, since we can't really fly the ships, you're not able to see all of the motion that the wings and things do. The wings kind of extend on this as you are in flight, and I'll hop in one of the other Hornets here later so you can see the inside of the Hornet. We mentioned the Legionnaire. This is the Legionnaire version of the Aurora. You can definitely see that it has way more guns, way more hard points, a bigger power plant on the roof. It just is a beast of a ship. I mean, there is absolutely no reason that you will be disappointed starting this game having the Legionnaire as your primary ship.
Yep.
There's no reason. This
Absolutely.
is the 315P, the 300 series. I think the 315P is what the exploration version of the 300 series. So I'll give you a little glance at that.
Not quite as much of a bang, but plenty of ability to search for those wormholes hiding everywhere.
Yep. And here is the Super Hornet. This is the mother of all Hornets. huge guns on the roof. Nice guns on the wings. You got your guns up here in the front. This baby is gonna do some damage. So
those guns are ridiculous.
Yeah, this is definitely not something I'd want to deal with in a dogfight if I was flying my 300 around.
Hell, if I'm flying my Legionnaire around, I sure as hell don't want to encounter one of those.
Yep. These are the different gun variants that you can buy from the Voyager Direct store. Again, kind of one of everything, so you get an idea of, you know, kind of what they look like in your hangar. And here is the hangar obstacle course there in the back. We won't spend too much time on that. I do have the buggy, so you can run through on your buggy, jump some hoops, and crash into some barrels. It's a lot of fun. And my personal favorite of the Hornet series, the Hornet variants that were released, is the scout ship, and that's the one I'm going to get in to kind of show you guys. It has a very stealth flair to it. The darker paint colors, it just, to me, while it may not be extremely effective at combat, because, you know, it's losing some of its engine power and, you know, some of its weapon power and sacrificing it for stealth, it just is so unbelievably sexy to me. And I'll hop in this one so you guys can take a look at kind of the outside of the ship, if I can find my port here. Now, for those of you that have larger hangars, you know, you've got more ships than you know what to do with. You do kind of have to adjust the game file, the game file, and that's what I'm doing here. So my hangar's a little bit larger than what it normally would be. It does have a 10 ship limit. Since I have more than 10 ships, I had to do some modifications, and there's all sorts of threads on the boards if you need to see, you know, how to do that. But that is the Hornet. I'm trying to speed up this trip for you guys.
I do like the stealth model there. I mean, the black and everything. I don't know. It just, to me, that is like a real Hornet. That, you know, the Super Hornet or whatever, that's just like a beast. Like, I don't even think that thing could fly in atmosphere. It probably weighs so much, you know. But that one, you know, it just looks amazing.
Yep. And here is the command and control version of it. You know, it's the Hornet. It's going to be more designed for controlling a fleet versus you know, being right in the middle of the action. It can definitely hold its own, but there's that Hornet variant. We're coming up to the Aurora LX, which is the luxury edition of the Aurora. Leather seats, all that fun stuff. Here is the stock 300. This is the average 300 in the fleet. And here is the big girl. Here is the Constellation.
Good old Connie.
So let's take a quick tour of the Connie. Maybe this time I won't get stuck in the bathroom.
I remember that was great. You were stuck in there for like 20 minutes. It was amazing.
Yeah,
and wasn't it because like the shower door was left open so it wouldn't let you out?
So the Connie does have the, you know, the lower turret here that can be manned. You have your, you know, your captain's chair, your your 2 additional chairs there for all that fun stuff.
You know, for Sulu and Chekhov.
You have your Merlin here, which is the fighter underneath it. Some people have modified their game files so they can actually, you know, kind of hop in the Merlin and take a look at it. I didn't want to do that because I don't want to always have to modify my game files every time there's a patch, so I didn't want to do that. It's got your sleep pods. You've got 4 sleep pods here, so you can, you know, cozy up and take a nap. And then you have your bathroom, which I'm not going to touch anything in the bathroom, but the shower works. And the toilet works. Like I said, last time I kind of got stuck in there. So, I guess I'll show you guys the...
You know what doesn't work in the bathroom, though?
The sink.
The mirror.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, the mirror doesn't work. So, for those of you that do have a hangar, I think all of the hangars have modification tables. I haven't been inside of the discount hangar, so I could be wrong. But I do know for sure the business and the deluxe hangar has your modification table. And for those of you that are trying to figure out how one uses the modification table, because of course there's no key binding or real controls here.
I thought it didn't work until you told me. Like,
yeah, you line your camera up on it, press and hold the tab key. You can drag a ship out, move over to your weapons, you know, swap out some weapons on the baby, and go to town with it. So, and you can modify any of your ships. The ship modifications are not permanent in the Hangar module as it stands. You make your changes, you log out, and it reverts. But it does kind of show you, the basics on that. The discount and the business and the deluxe does have a running video on there. I don't know if the discount has it.
I'm almost positive the discount doesn't. I don't. Like, when I first started, all I had was the Aurora. I don't remember seeing a screen anywhere in there. I could be wrong, but I don't think there's one in there.
Yep, and then you got your buggy, which can get you from, point A to point B. So, I'll go ahead and close that out, though, because there's really no need for us to see that any more of that. But, that's the Hangar. They're always adding things to it. It's definitely worth, even if you downloaded it early, it's worth reloading and, going from there. So while we were out, a couple things got released. We did talk about the variants of the ships, the Hornet variants, the new Legionnaire model. And if you haven't gotten an opportunity to see them, I'm going to B-roll the Aurora video.
So I was looking at the new Aurora.
I love the style of the video.
But then I was thinking, maybe I should get something that looks a little classy.
It's pretty unique,
but then I was
videos,
like,
and they all
no,
kind of take a
I need
different
something
style,
that can pull some serious weight.
They have a sense of humor. And the humor
Maybe I don't need
makes
all
me
that
laugh
cargo
on it.
space.
I really do enjoy it.
What about the Legionnaire? Now we're talking. How about some bigger guns? Little bigger. No, little bigger. There you go. And maybe some rockets, too.
Now,
actually,
it's important
I should
to remember,
probably upgrade
as
the
with the
power
300
plant.
series, these are all in-game assets. This is what the
I did
game
like
is
the
going
leather
to
seats
look
on that
like.
LX, though.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
the only thing that they've done
right.
different
Let's see what
here
this baby
in
can do.
videos is they've used a cinematic camera. So they've added a camera character out of the game. So you can kind of get those shots that you wouldn't necessarily get from first person or third person. This is here kind of where I was talking about the flaps on the ship. Probably move sort of out. It'll be great when you get the dogfighting module and actually make it see this.
Bigger cargo.
RSI's Aurora. There are many like it, but this one is yours.
Now they do have that nice touch and flair on all their videos, and I know that was a little long, but they're so good. They're worth watching, and they're worth seeing.
Every single one of the videos that they put out, it's you get the 300 that came out, it's like a BMW commercial, right? Then you get the Aurora, it's it's a little bit more fun, I guess, sounding, because it's not the prestigious high end ship, and then you get the Hornet commercial. I think we're gonna show here in a second, right?
Let's go ahead and pull that up.
Yeah, it's more the military type of commercial, because it's a militaristic ship. I like the
Legendary
styles
fighter pilot Harvey
O'Reilly
O'Reilly once said, "Give me a fully loaded Hornet, and I'll shake the gates of heaven." Anvil Aerospace's Hornets have faced Vandal, Xi'an, pirates, and criminals.
Now the great thing about this video is on YouTube, they posted it in 4K resolution, 4K system.
Hornets have logged more combat time and kills in more theaters than any other ship in the history of space combat. Battle-tested in the harshest conditions, the Hornet has proven time and again its ability to withstand damage and still be able to dish it out. With all the punishment it handles on a daily basis, don't you think the new Hornet can handle yours?
Honey, I got the ice cream you wanted.
Anvil's new Hornet F7C. See your authorized ship dealer for options.
All right, so that was the Hornet video. A couple key points, like I mentioned, that you might not have heard. This video is in 4K on the YouTube feed. I think they also have it on their Vimeo. I'm not sure if Vimeo supports 4K, but I know for sure you can see it in 4K and 3D, if I'm not mistaken, on YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
So it's definitely worth checking out there. The video also featured, it was a stock Hornet, it was the F7C. It went against I believe a stock Aurora in the video, and a stock.
I have to say though, hang on, the Aurora. When I was watching that video, one of the comments on YouTube that I thought was freaking hilarious was, they were asking, "Wow, did the pilot in that Aurora go to Stormtrooper training school? Because he could not hit a damn thing." He was missing he couldn't get a single hit on the Hornet. Now, I'm not going to say that's because the Hornet's the biggest badass ship in the game or whatever, but, because that little Aurora is pretty tough, but come on.
I do notice that they didn't put the Legionnaire up there. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
They just had that stock Hornet up there. This has been pretty cool. The video spawned some interesting conversations in the forums. It got mentioned on Spaceman's Parking Lot, aka Wingman's Hangar, last week. The lawsuit, the fake lawsuit that someone put together on the forums, making it look all official, where RSI and Origin are suing for defamation because their ships got destroyed. Are you serious? Yeah, it's great. It's great. I love the community and the sense of humor that they have. When they put all that together.
Didn't see that, but I'm gonna have to go check that out. That sounds amazing.
Yeah, it's definitely good. It was MVP'd on Wingman's Hangar.
Great.
So, speaking of trailers, Gradius and I were kind of doing some just some prep work, and Gradius saw something interesting.
Yes.
In the original trailer, the announcement trailer, where we're on the Bengal carrier, there are some interesting looking, crafts in the image. Now I'm going to CSI this on the live stream here and kind of point it out in case you can't see it. What the hell are these things? Now, I'm under the impression that they are external hull repair things. You put on it like a spacesuit and you go repair hull fractures. That's what I'm going to say those are.
Here's what I think they are, okay? Because they haven't released a whole lot of information about the Bengal carrier. And yeah, I think the guy in chat's kind of going where I'm going with this. I'm thinking that they are RSI Zeus? Interesting. Okay. Well, yeah, I don't know. They look like little defense fighters maybe that the Bengal carrier launches.
Okay, now hold on a second. Let me switch over to my desktop here. I'm being told that we're hearing that this is the Zeus. Okay, because if you go to the RSI website and then you go to the Voyager Direct store, because I have this in my ship. This is the RSI Zeus. This does not look like those red ships. Let me go back here.
That looks like the Space Shuttle Endeavour.
Yeah. So wait, how is this? This? I don't think it is. I could be wrong.
The Zeus, as described on the wiki, is a short range exploration fighter. I don't know. I don't know. Those little red things.
Yeah.
I could be wrong, but I don't know.
I'm thinking it's a repair craft. You hop in it, you do some repairs on your hull. I don't know though. I could be wrong. I'm definitely interested in the speculation here, and I hope it's been said, and I hope we're wrong. Like,
And the funny thing is I'm not claiming to be an expert or anything. I don't scour the wiki. And I don't read every little detail of every little thing out there, because that takes away from the exploration of the actual game that comes out. But it's I don't know. It looks like to me, we were just talking about it earlier. We pulled up the video and I saw those in the background. I'm like, what the hell are those? How have I not noticed those out of the 20,000 times I watched this trailer video? And I don't know.
okay, well apparently we just got linked on the in the live chat.
He is solving the mystery.
It is a placeholder ship for us. So Chris Roberts said it was the Turbo Squid, although he didn't say what kind of license they have for it. Interesting.
Yes, the Turbo Squid. I mean, to me, it sounds like, how the freaking the Connie's got the little fighter in it.
The Merlin,
I'm thinking,
yeah.
I'm thinking that's what these are for the Bengal.
Maybe.
It's like, oh crap, we're under attack and our fighter wing is too far away from the ship. Let's launch the little pieces of the little red spear things and protect the ship.
I'm standing confident that it is a repairing ship of some kind, because you've got to be able to get outside and repair your ship, and you're not going to do that in a Hornet.
No, you do that in your spacesuit, right? EVA, get out there and expose yourself to all that radiation.
That is a big ship to go EVAing around. That is a huge ship. So, I don't know. I think it's like some sort of a maintenance ship, and I hope it's in game, and I want it to be in game, because it's a really cool and unique design. So, any Hoosers, let's see what else is on the docket. We went over the Hangar. We discussed the Voyager Direct Store. With that, we showed the trailers. Secondhand ship market, the gray market. I think bears being mentioned, because we probably we should only have one more episode before the LTI cutoff date. But I think it's worth mentioning. We have tried really, really, really hard I have tried personally to determine whether or not we're going to have more ships or more limited or previously announced limited edition ships go on sale again before the LTI cutoff. There have been Reddit posts, forum posts where it's saying confirmed, they're going to have these ships again. I'm talking the M50, the 300R, the Caterpillar, the Starfarer, those type ships. I don't know if we're going to see them or not. But I've now seen two separate people. It's really easy to Photoshop this because it's just text where they have tickets open with support, and support told them that these ships were going to be available again.
I've seen a bunch of those out there.
Before LTI runs out. But we were kind of having the conversation within our own gaming community about whether or not it's even worth getting LTI, whether it's the end of the world or not if you don't have it. And some of the prices people are paying for things are outrageous.
Okay, can I just say the eBay thing?
Yeah, bring it up.
Freaking Vandal Scythe on eBay for $2,500. Who the hell? Okay, you know what? I'm going to answer my own question because I know there's someone out there that would do this. But come on, $2,500? No, don't do it.
I have a feeling that we're gonna see the 350R, the Caterpillar, and the M50. I have a feeling. I don't think we're gonna see variants of them, but I have a feeling we're gonna see them again before LTI runs out.
I don't think they're gonna do very many. I think they're gonna do like one or two ships. That's it.
am almost positive we won't see a Vandal Scythe, and we won't see an Idris, the Idris.
You don't think they're going to do the Idris, huh?
I think. Well, I'm almost positive they will not do an Idris M, because you can still get the Idris P, the Peacekeeper variant, which is the one I have.
Yeah.
You can still get it. You just have to buy a super expensive package. I think it's the $5,000 or the $15,000 one that has that in it. So I mean, you still can get the Idris, but I doubt we'll see the M, and I doubt we'll see the Vandal. I think that those are done until you get in game.
Yeah.
So,
I think they'll bring back a couple of smaller ships that you couldn't get before, or you could get before. I mean, they could bring back some of the bigger ones, but I don't know. I don't think they're going to. I think if they do anything, it's going to be like 2 or 3 ships tops, and that's it. Just as a hey, just to kind of because the whole LTI thing or whatever, it's cool, but it's really, as you and I have. At first, I thought it was freaking huge, and it was the most amazing thing in the world. But after I've talked to you more, and we've kind of talked about it, it's really not that big of a deal, Yeah. And
I think the amount of money people are paying in excess of the original cost of the ship, I do not think they will see it being returned to them, because nobody's going to run around, and I know we've beat this with beat it like a dead horse. But I don't think anybody's going to run around with just hull insurance. If you're running around in one of those ships, you're going to have it modified. You're going to have cargo. You're going to be running around with something more than just LTI basic hull level insurance. So,
I don't think I'd even want just basic hull level insurance on my Aurora.
Right.
You know what I mean? It just seems foolish to me.
Right. So I just don't see it happening at all. That anyone would do that. But it doesn't. But for me, I didn't get the M50. I didn't get the Caterpillar. I didn't get the Starfarer. I didn't get them, and I didn't get the Vandal Scythe. I missed out on the Vandal Scythe. I wasn't a part of the community at the time where that was available.
So what you're saying is you're going to be camping the RSI website for the next couple weeks.
Better believe it. So I definitely think if you're not watching Spaceman's Parking Lot, you're not subscribed to the email feeds, and this isn't your homepage, definitely check it out, because I kind of have an inkling, and yeah, some people have said in chat, with concierge service, I have concierge service. I'm not gonna, I don't know what the word is.
Schmooze.
I'm using concierge service for concierge things. I'm not using the concierge service to milk information out, and not that there's anything wrong with that. I mean, if you've paid enough to have concierge service, use it, for whatever you want to use it. But for me personally, I'm just not going to use the concierge for that. And if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. But I'll have every ship in the game. Through one means or another, I will get it. But I think it's worth mentioning that the market's there, and I think you're crazy if you spend that kind of money for it.
Yeah.
So, did we?
What? Well, there was one more thing I wanted to talk about, and it's not a huge thing, but I guess it could be. I was excited, when we were talking with Ben and Sandy, that Ben said, this is about the private server thing.
Oh, that's right.
They haven't really released a whole lot of details about it, and now I kind of understand why. I mean, it doesn't sound like it's going to be like there's going to be some huge involved process to kind of get your own private server, because he said it's just like, imagine kind of like Freelancer, where you just log into the game, you hit start, host server, and it just spawns an instance of the game world that your friends can join. He said that's pretty much all it is.
Right.
So that kind of excites me, because you already kind of have to have a pretty beast machine if you want to run the game good. But if you want to run your own private server, all it takes is just having a Star Citizen account.
Right. I'm always a fan of, and I hate to say it because in gaming it's such a bad word, but I'm a fan of the microtransactions and the subscription services. I enjoy them, because when you're paying for something, you tend to get a higher quality product.
Yeah, that's true.
You get stuff for free, and it's kind of like,
Yeah, because you don't know. I mean, you could be connecting to a server that some guy's running on some e-machine in his basement. It's like, wow, why am I lagging so much? This server's horrible. You
I'm running
know.
Star Citizen on a MacBook Air. You
Oh
know,
my
it's you know, it's you get a more consistent experience out of it. I keep it free. Do allow the person to run it on their e-machine or their MacBook Air in parallels. Allow people to do that. But I would love the idea of me giving RSI a monthly stipend, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50 bucks, whatever it happens to be, for them to give me, and we've mentioned this in a previous episode, but
Yeah.
it's worth mentioning again, to have that guaranteed quality experience where I'm not worried about always on internet connection, to maintain that my server's always up. I'm not worried about a Windows update
You're not
restarting
worried
my
about
PC.
Time Warner Cable going, oh, this guy's running a server at his house. We're gonna have to shut that down.
Yeah. So and it doesn't really cost, if you have server infrastructure there, and you know this, you're in IT, it doesn't really cost anything more to have a VM running. Once you build a nice server farm, you've already got the bandwidth there. Your servers are already stable. Launch up another VM, and you're good to go.
Yep.
So the cost, once the infrastructure's there, is minimal. Why not make a little extra money off of us and make a better game?
I'd pay 20, 30 bucks for a server big enough for, I don't know, 10, 20 of my my friends to hop on, and we just kind of do our own thing.
Yep.
Why not?
There is one thing I wanted to mention, because we kind of got asked about some of the hardware specs that we're running, and there's been a lot of talk within our own community about what machines and what hardware that are people going to start investing in currently, since we've got Dogfighter module coming out before the end of the year or shortly thereafter if it gets delayed a little bit. And Star Citizen is still a year, potentially two away. Is now the time to buy hardware? And if you're looking at hardware, what should you get?
Shoot, man.
I'm gonna from my point of view, this summer has been my summer of upgrades. I was running a i7-920. I upgraded to the 4770. I was running 480s in SLI. I upgraded to 770s in SLI. And this is not going to be the machine I play Star Citizen with. This is going to be the machine I do dogfighting with until until the I'll get the 5th generation Intel or the 6th generation Intel core processors that come out, whatever they happen to be, and I'll probably go a couple steps up from the 770s. Let's just hypothetically pretend that they're going to be 970s by the time the game comes out. I'm Intel and NVIDIA. I know you're AMD ATI.
Yeah.
How, speaking from the budget consumer, I would not buy, if you're wanting to do dogfighting in Hangar module, and if you're an Intel guy and an NVIDIA guy, I would not buy anything greater than a 770. Don't buy a Titan. Don't buy 780s. A 770 bang for the buck on NVIDIA is that's it. That's all you need to focus on as far as video cards go. On the AMD side or the ATI side of the fence, whatever they call themselves in the graphics card division, would you get one of the new, what are they, R270s or R290s, whatever they're called?
Well, I don't think that those cards would be a bad option, only because I don't know how the AMD Mantle thing is going to play out yet.
Yeah, and we did get confirmed support for that this week. That is going to support Mantle.
Mantle could be a really awesome thing, and it could be, it may not pan out. But if AMD's confident in it and Star Citizen's going to support it, the 290 series that just came out, or the the R200 or X or whatever the hell they're calling them, they may not be a bad choice. But the thing is right now, those things are freaking expensive. Next year, not so much, so I'm going to hold off.
I typically stick with the, under normal circumstances, I try to top out, and that way I don't have to buy, hardware for about 2 years if I top out, and still feel like I can run pretty much everything at max or just below max settings. If I top out, I'm good for 2 years. And I did that. I had the 920, the Core i7 920, for well over 2 years and didn't have any problems with it at all. And that was and that at the time the higher end 900 series and Intel didn't release. I mean, as soon as the i7 was hot off the die, I bought mine. So that's what I stuck with. The 770, or excuse me, the 4770K, I think I got for mid 200s or low 300s, which I think is a fair price on the Intel side of things. That's fairly inexpensive. You can get, the high ends for a couple thousand. I can't justify spending 3 times as much on a processor to get 10 or 15% improvements out of it.
Yeah, the 4770K is the go-to Intel processor right now. I mean, every single time they've got, they released a new architecture or whatever, there's always that one processor that everybody gets, right? And it's last time it was the actually I think last time it was the 3570.
Yeah, I know there are a lot of people
that was like the biggest one,
Yeah, I know the benchmarkers were using the 3770K, but I think the average user was using the 35. I think that with me running the 4770K and one 770 in a normal hangar, not one that had to be modified so I could have all of my ships in there, at max settings, not streaming, when I wasn't doing anything stupid, playing at 1080p, it was like butter.
Yeah.
I mean, every now and again you could kind of tell you'd get a light hiccup, as you pass through a light, you could see that the video card was kind of going, okay, I don't know what to do here, and I think that's more engine optimization.
That's a programming engine,
than hardware. And even with 2 770s in SLI mode, all I've noticed is a frame rate increase. I still will have the occasional pass through a light beam and the cards go, I don't know what to do, and kind of jitter. So I would think if you're budget conscious and you need to upgrade, I would go middle of the road now and get yourself a if you're willing to have outdated technology, get yourself the 3rd generation Intel Core i7s, because you can get those pretty inexpensive right now.
Yep.
And probably a 760 or a 770. And honestly, going from dual 480s to one 770, I didn't see any difference at all in anything I played. I saw no difference.
Right.
I mean, the frame rates, when you're playing at 30 to 60 frames per second, you do see a difference, but in the 30 to 60. But going from 60 to 120 or 180, you're not really going to see the difference.
Right.
So I don't think it's worth it. So that's my suggestion. If you have to upgrade because you want the Hangar module to work, as far as processor and video cards go, 3rd generation Intel and a 760 or 770.
Yeah, some of the folks in chat are talking about running on like a 2K or 4K TV, that sort of thing. And when you're wanting to go higher resolution, you want to make sure you get a video card that has more memory, because that's what the memory does on a video card. And so you can get, a 770 or 780 or whatever. But if you're going to be if you're planning on running those really high resolutions, you get the variant of that card.
Get the 4 gigabyte variants.
Exactly, that have the larger memory amounts.
Yeah. As far as memory goes, of course, this game is 64-bit optimized. So if memory is available, it's going to take it. As far as your RAM goes, I mean, my RAM will tick up. On this machine, I have 32 gigs, and I will see when I launch that Hangar module, I see that RAM definitely start to be utilized. I think you could probably run fine on 8, and it be okay. So, give me the AMD ATI Skinny. If you were doing that, what would you do on the budget? And then, of course, because the top end is there, and everyone knows the top end.
Yep.
So, but on the budget, what would you do?
Well, the thing is like, I plan on playing Star Citizen, but I plan on building my machine to the middle end of next year, and by that time, I don't really know what's going to be out. But using current parts, I can kind of plan on building with current parts, mid to middle of next year. And I think I've got a system that's built that's, I don't know, around $1,600. That's got the like an 8350 or one of the overclocked variants of the 8350, and the 290, the new R290. And you're going with something like that, that's a full setup that's, clocked really high. I mean, heck, I think the AMD was it. It's the 8350, but it's just a crazy clocked one. I think it's like a 9350 or whatever. That's what they're calling it. It taps out at 5 gigahertz, but it requires water cooling and crap. Like, I wouldn't go that crazy because
No.
I don't want to set my computer on fire. But
Yeah, you had
I don't know.
Today.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I think the 8350 and the 290, everything will support Mantle. For Star Citizen, I think that's going to be a pretty good setup.
Yeah. Now, all of this is null and void if you're going to be using an Oculus Rift, because the Oculus Rift you're going to be limited on your resolution on, so you're not going to need super crazy setups, because right now the dev kit isn't even 720p. Now I'm sure the consumer version, they'll probably, my guess would be first consumer version is probably going to be 1080. I doubt we'll see 2K or 4K Oculus Rift by the time the game goes live. I don't see it happening, and I honestly think 1080p is going to be a stretch. I will probably be at 720. So in that case, if you're able to run Crysis 3 flawlessly on the system you have, you'll probably be able to play Star Citizen pretty well with an Oculus Rift.
Yeah.
So because it's just not going to be pushing the pixels like it will be on some of the 2 or 4K setups.
I'm still on the fence about the Oculus Rift. I mean, I kind of want one for the immersion factor, but the immersion factor is good and all, but I don't know how it will affect me in combat, because I don't want to have this really cool piece of gear that makes everything just really awesome, but it make me ineffectual in combat. So it's kind of a balance thing for me.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Now, I think if we're going the route of 4K or an iFinity setup or a surround setup, depending upon your technology, all of this gets thrown out of the window.
Yeah.
That I would not buy anything now if you're planning on doing iFinity surround 2 or 4K screens. I wouldn't buy anything. I think the amount of money you would spend to be able to run something on 2 and 4K or iFinity or surround, you would be wasting your money on, because in 2 years that technology is going to be so much less expensive, and you'll be able to do it with better energy coefficients, a lot less expensive. So I think right now I wouldn't waste my money on anything. If you're wanting to do top end, I wouldn't waste my money on it. I think you'd be So
agreed.
So that's my hardware advice. So we did mention before we wrap up that we were going to replay the interview. How I'm going to do that is, for everyone who's downloading and subscribed to us, it's already in your feeds. So if you subscribe on through our audio podcast or video podcast, you've already got it. It's the last episode. So to save our hard drive space and bandwidth on our server, I'm not going to include that on the video or in this episode of the show. I'm going to link you guys the YouTube video for those of you watching on the live stream, and that's it. We did have some community questions that were answered. We did hop in the chat roll the day before we did the recording, and got some community questions. So I'm going to go ahead and give you guys that link. There is a point in the interview where the audio gets a little wonky. We were using Skype, so you have to forgive us, because Skype is not always the nicest to you when you are trying to stream audio and video and record everything. So forgive us, and it's just for one question, so let's just say that question was redacted.
Probably was anyway.
Yeah, so I went ahead and linked, for those of you watching the live stream, that link straight to the YouTube video. It's definitely worth watching. It's 25 minutes. Audio levels, like I said, are a little off at points, but it's definitely worth watching. And this is something that we are going to continue to do. We have the lines of communication open. We talk to Sandy, and I can't guarantee one every episode or every other episode, but it is definitely something that we are going to be doing.
Yep.
So,
looking forward to it.
Yep. Again, let me give you the ways to keep in touch with us. You can catch us online, here on the live stream every other Wednesday. You can catch us on YouTube at youtube.com/chosen community, or just search Beacon 147. Catch us on iTunes or your podcatcher of choice. And again, Beacon 147 or Star Citizen will come up on the first page of results. You can catch us at our new URL, which is beacon147.net. It's just a site dedicated toward housing our podcast. So it's not going to be super pretty. It's not going to be, a news blog site. We want you to go to RSI's site for that. We want you to go there because that's straight from the horse's mouth. So catch our, go there just if you want to watch an episode that you might have missed or get subscribed to us. And of course, you can follow us on the Twitter at beacon147.net. And in case you didn't have enough Beacon 147, email us at show@beacon147.net. I think I got everything.
Absolutely.
Did I miss anything at all?
No, I think all 27 ways to contact us were mentioned.
So thank you guys in the chat roll and who watched us on the live stream. We will see you in the verse.